flat.
Call to order the City Council meeting for City of East Grand Forks for Tuesday, June 4th, 2019. It's now 5 o'clock. City Clerk, please call roll.
Mayor Steve Gander.
Here.
Council President Mark Olsted.
Here.
Council Vice President Chad Grassel.
Here.
Council Members Clarence Vetter.
Here.
Dale Helms.
Here.
Tim Riopel.
Here.
Tim Johnson.
Here.
Mark Demers.
Present.
Does the term of quorum. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Open forum and opportunity for members of the public to address the City Council on items not on the current agenda. Items requiring council action may be deferred to staff, boards, commissions for research and future council agendas if appropriate. If you'd like to address City Council, please come up to the podium to do so at this time. I see none. Approval of minutes. Consider approving the minutes of council meeting for East Grand Forks for May 21st, 2019.
Move.
Moved by Demers.
Second.
Second by Riopel. Any questions or discussion? See none. Roll call, please.
Olsted.
Yes.
Grassel.
Yes.
Demers.
Yes.
Vetter.
Yes.
Helms.
Yes.
Riopel.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Motion is carried. Scheduled bid lettings, there's none. Scheduled public hearings. Number 2, public hearing concerning the submittal of an application to the Minnesota Department of Employment and Economic Development for loan under the Minnesota Investment Fund Program for Harveston Mayo LLC and submittal of application for EDA RLF loan from the East Grand Forks Economic Development Authority. I have a motion to open public hearing.
Move to open.
Moved by Demers, second by Riopel. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. Public hearing is now open. Mr. Gordy.
Mr. President, Mayor, members of the council, Harrison Mayo Manufacturing is expanding. They're mirroring an existing building that they have on the site. It will be an 8,400 square foot expansion. They'll be adding 5 employees. The total cost of the expansion is slightly over $600,000. They are looking to borrow $150,000 from the city's revolving loan funds and $150,000 from the Department of Employment and Economic Development's loans through their MIF, Minnesota Investment Fund program. This is actually a combined public hearing, whereas both items require a public hearing, and we are able to do them as one public hearing. And Mr. Chris Delisle is here in case you have any questions.
Do we have any questions at this time during the public hearing? See none, sir.
Move close.
Moved by Demers to close.
Second.
Second by Grassel. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. Public hearing is now closed. I'll move on to consent agenda. Items under the consent agenda will be adopted with one motion. However, council members may request individual items to be pulled from the consent agenda for discussion and action if they choose. Any council members like 3 through 5 vote? Entertain a motion of 3 through 5, please.
We'll move on 3 through 5.
Moved by Helms.
Second.
Second by Riopel. Any questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Olsted.
Yes.
Grassel.
Yes.
Demers.
Yes.
Vetter.
Yes.
Helms.
Yes.
Riopel.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Motion is carried. Acknowledge receipt of reports of officers, boards, and commissions. Regular meeting minute of Water, Light, Power, and Building Commission for May 1st, 2019. Communication, there is none. Old business, there is none. New business, number 7, consider adopting resolution number 19-06-31, granting a support of the Minnesota Investment Fund Program application for Harrison Mayo LLC for their expansion project.
Move.
Moved by Demers.
Second.
Second by Riopel. Any questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Olsted.
Yes.
Grassel.
Yes.
Demers.
Yes.
Vetter.
Yes.
Helms.
Yes.
Riopel.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Motion is carried. Number 8, consider adopting resolution number 19-06-32, granting preliminary approval subject to a public hearing for a project under the Municipal Industrial and Development Act and setting the public hearing for July 2nd, 2019.
Move.
Moved by Grassel.
Second.
Second by Demers. Would you like to address the council, sir?
Yes,
Could you please state your name?
my name is John Arnson. I'm from Arnson Stewart Wagner. We're bond counsel to the American Crystal for this bond issue we're asking the city to consider. What this preliminary resolution does is it sets a hearing date for July 2nd for a public hearing on whether or not the council will give final approval to the issuance of the bonds. This resolution also gives preliminary approval subject to the final approval for the issuance of the bonds. The American Crystal is asking the city to issue $8.5 million in bonds to help finance the improvements to their solid waste disposal handling mechanism. An important thing to point out about this resolution, it makes it very clear that these bonds are not a debt of the city and do not commit any city funds towards the repayment. The repayment is solely from funds from American Crystal. And so we'd urge you to adopt the preliminary resolution.
Thank you, sir. Does anybody have any questions at this time? I see none. Roll call, please.
Olsted?
Yes.
Grassel?
Yes.
Demers?
Yes.
Vetter?
Yes.
Helms?
Yes.
Riepel?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Number 9, consider adopting resolution number 19-06-33, authorizing Heritage Days as community festival and allow liquor to be served on the evening of dance that is held each year.
Move.
Moved by Riepel.
Second.
Second by Vetter. Any questions or discussion? See none. Roll call, please.
Olsted?
Yes.
Grassel?
Yes.
Demers?
Yes.
Vetter?
Yes.
Helms?
Yes.
Riepel?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Number 10, consider approving the ordinance number 26, 4th series, adding chapter 78 entitled Utility Task Vehicles and adopting by reference City Code Chapter 10 and Section 10.99, which among other things contain penalty provisions. First reading.
Moved.
Moved by Helms.
Second.
Second by Demers. Any questions or discussion?
I do have one item. I just encourage anyone who hears this, who is interested in operating a UTV on our city streets, please visit our website. You can see the full copy of this agenda on the website, which is egf.mn, and then you can just search under City Council and get to the most recent agenda. If you do want to read the full version of the proposed ordinance, you want to take a look at it there, and we will bring it back again. So by all means, this is the time to look at it, and if you have any questions or concerns, let us know between now and the next meeting. Thanks.
Anybody else have anything?
I want to thank Mr. Galston for putting that together. That was quite a venture. The only thing that I was worried about was that Demers, if they can get off that bridge right away. Otherwise, we did a good job, I think, on it.
I appreciate that, Mr. Johnson, and I've done what I can at this point on Demers, and hopefully if it ever gets turned over, if you want to be able to modify the restrictions, we can. Currently, UTVs are not allowed by state law to operate on state and federal highways. And since Demers Avenue, 220 North, and Gateway Drive, Highway 2 are state and federal highways, they're not allowed. They can cross perpendicular at that intersection, with the exception of 220 and Highway 2, which is prohibited just based upon the volume and the danger of that intersection. Thank you, though.
Anybody else have anything? Roll call, please.
Olsted?
Yes.
Grassel?
Yes.
Demers?
Yes.
Vetter?
No.
Helms?
Yes.
Riepel?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Excuse me. Number 11, consider approving the memorandum of understanding between the City of East Grand Forks and the Law Enforcement Labor Services, local number 152, clarifying and defining a callback.
Move.
Moved by Vetter.
Second.
Second by Demers. Any questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Olsted?
Yes.
Grassel?
Yes.
Demers?
Yes.
Vetter?
Yes.
Helms?
Yes.
Riepel?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Claims, consider authorizing the city administrator clerk treasurer to issue payment of recommended bills and payroll. Moved by Helms, second by Demers. Any questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Olsted?
Yes.
Grassel?
Yes.
Demers?
Yes.
Vetter?
Yes.
Helms?
Yes.
Riepel?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Mayor Gander.
First of all, thank you again to Mayo Manufacturing. Investing in our community means a lot, shows a lot of confidence that you have in the economy that we have here. Thanks again to American Crystal, $8.5 million reinvested back into this community. And everything they do, they add value, they make jobs, they enhance our farm economy. we're thankful to have them here, and seeing them investing like that is a really good sign. We appreciate it. Mr. Gordy, just over time, as you are able, I know these things are all, the timing and whatnot are pretty important, but as you hear any good news of any of the retail spaces or any of the other developments of unused property that we might have, as you're able to give reports, we sure would appreciate it. And finally, most of you know now that we're in contention for the 2021 Governor's Fishing Opener this last week. I want to say, first of all, thank you to the Greater Grand Forks CVB, Julie Riggs, Stephanie Bernstrom, who've been very involved in getting this started. You should know probably how this started is that Explore Minnesota reached out to them in the first place and said, it might be something you want to take a look at. They were just visiting about it. And so it's gotten a good life behind it. Thanks again to Reed Hutton. You made yourself available for this in the midst of everything else going on, the swimming pool and all the summer activities starting up. And Nicole Lawlem was the site visit that we had from Explore Minnesota. And thank you so much to Brad Durick Outdoors, who got us out fishing cats, a couple hours, 3 nice big cats. And I think that Nicole was very, very impressed with all of it. The undisturbed banks and shores that we have along our river, the wildlife. I mean, it's a unique opportunity. And then pulling up these lunker fish one after another in pretty close succession, I think she was favorably impressed. She also said not to be too concerned if we don't have that area fully developed by the time of the event. She said communities do this all the time. They are able to use an event like this to get started to develop this area that we're talking about between the dam and the railroad bridge, and to use that attention and that effort to be part of what brings that improvement. That's a good use of this event actually to do those things. Reed, anything you want to add about it, the visit, or... Oh, I should make sure to mention to the media and everyone else here, we would make our decision of whether or not to make the request, the application by November of this year. You would be then in contention with about half dozen other cities. So by no means is this thing a slam dunk, even to the point of our full application through the CVB. We're among about 6 other cities and would find out at the fishing opener in 2020 of who's selected for the following year. Anything else, Reed? Okay, cool, thanks.
Mr. Vitter.
I don't have anything, thank you.
Mr. Holmes.
No, thank you.
Mr. Rapel.
Just want to say I'm happy the mayor redeemed himself, that minnow he caught on the fishing opener, and then he gets this nice fish on the Red Lake River. Sure helped.
Thanks again, Brad.
Mr. Johnson.
No, nothing.
Mr. Demers.
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Mr. Grasso.
Nothing.
I just want to thank Reed for this last week getting the pool up and running so some of the school kids could enjoy it. It's my understanding that right now it was like 78 degrees in the water last weekend or beginning of the week.
It was 81 degrees yesterday.
So you had to turn it down. That's great. Glad everything worked. Glad the heater worked. Hope everybody enjoys it this summer. Also, you are looking for lifeguards, correct?
Yeah, we can still use a few more.
A few more?
Our training's coming up at Choice Health and Fitness the next few weeks here.
So if anybody knows anybody who wants a summer job at the pool, just get a hold of the Park and Rec Department and get you information. Mr. Murphy.
I only have one thing, is just a reminder that this week I will be out starting tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for a little vacation, and we'll be back to work on Monday.
Mr. Gallstead.
I have nothing at this time, thank you.
Mr. Emery.
I have nothing else unless you have any questions.
Anything from the department heads?
Actually, I will throw in one. Just one event notice. I don't know if anybody's seen it, but this Friday afternoon from 4 to 7, the Minnesota Golden Gophers are going to have Paul Bunyan's Axe here in town as part of their coaches caravan. That's going to be down on Restaurant Row from 4 to 7 p.m. It's very minimal setup for us. They just bring in a tent and a few representatives, but the Axe will be here in town if anybody's interested in Gophers football, wants to take a picture with that. One of the rare times that we actually have it. So 4 to 7 on Restaurant Row, Friday, June 7th.
Thank you, sir. If not, entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move.
Moved by Demers. Second by Grass. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. Meeting is adjourned.